We begin with a live look at Waikiki, Hawaii, right now, where water has reportedly been seen receding along Hawaii's shorelines. The islands are under a tsunami warning. Here's what we know. Tsunami warnings have been issued for multiple nations across the Pacific after a massive 8.8 magnitude earthquake struck off Russia's far eastern coast. It's the strongest tremor on the planet since 2011, when a 9.0 megaquake struck northeastern Japan. 10-foot tsunami waves are possible for some coasts of northern Hawaiian islands. Closer to home, a tsunami warning now in effect for parts of northern California and the coast from Cape Mendocino to the Oregon-California border. Waves of 2 to 5 feet are possible in the warning area, with the first waves expected to arrive around 11:50 p.m. local time. The rest of the California coast remains under a tsunami advisory, with lower wave heights expected, but strong currents and dangerous coastal conditions are possible. We have team coverage tonight as San Diego is included in the tsunami advisory. Meteorologist Megan Perry tracking the tsunami situation for us, and our Ryan Hill is out in Oceanside watching the coastline. Ryan, how are things out there, and have you been seeing people clearing the area?
Yeah, hey Ben, good evening. We're here in Oceanside Harbor. Now the National Weather Service is saying that first round of waves is expected to hit here around 1:15 in the morning here. And I spoke with a local geologist about what we should be doing as San Diegans, considering we're under this advisory.
This is a close cousin to the 2011 Japan earthquake. We're right just along that exact same.
Now that's Dr. Pat Abbott. He's a geologist from San Diego State who specializes in natural disasters, earthquakes, and emergency preparation. He says that it's important to remember that waves from tsunamis aren't all the same size, so you could have waves separated by a few minutes, and that they could be a different time frame apart, and they could vary in those sizes. Now Abbott says the part of San Diego hit the hardest in these types of situations are the bays. Again, we are in advisory stage at the moment, but he says those who need to get any type of warning during any types of tsunami notifications in our area and what kind of danger they could pose are those who are staying in their boats.
My advice to them, and the greatest caution, is I wouldn't sleep on that boat tonight. I'd go on land and sleep someplace else and just wait. I'm not predicting disaster for them, but certainly the waves are going to come in there. They are going to bang and move the boats around a bit.
Now, San Diego County also issuing its own advisory to folks here and what they should be doing. They're saying for folks to stay out and away from the beaches and waterways and stay away from the coastlines. Reporting live here in Oceanside, Ryan Hill, ABC 10 News.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Let's now turn to meteorologist Megan Perry with a closer look at how tsunami waves travel. Megan?
That's right, Ben. So we had this major earthquake happen, and when an earthquake happens out in the water, that's when you worry about the risk of a tsunami. So the tectonic plates are constantly, but very slowly moving against each other, and that's what we call those fault lines. Well, when pressure happens, basically, and it actually moves to create that earthquake, you see that pushes the water from farther down all the way up. Now it's typically a small wave the farther out it is in the ocean, but as that ocean water moves towards the coastline, those waves spread into shallower waters, and so that pushes the water higher up. So if you're farther out in the ocean, you're in a safer place. The closer you get to land, those waves are going to be bigger. Now we are currently in a tsunami advisory up and down our west coast, besides of course far northern California, which is in that tsunami warning. The first waves there are expected at 11:50, and they are expecting the possibility of a more significant impact there. For us here in San Diego and in Orange County, a tsunami warning is not expected. That is per the National Weather Service. The first waves estimated to arrive between about 1:10 and 1:15. Widespread inundation is not expected. However, as you heard Ryan say, it is best to avoid beaches, harbors, and marinas. Now, another update from the National Weather Service is that the peak wave heights that we could expect would be less than 1 foot over what we're seeing right now. And luckily, we have some pretty low wave heights between about 1 to 3 feet. So we were looking at, if we got a tsunami, it would be maybe up to 4 feet. High tide would be the biggest concern, which of course arrives right after the first wave of these tsunamis, if again they happen, and that is at 1:51 in the morning.
Nowhere to get food. Sirens going off. This is insane.
Oh, that guy, a popular local radio host dealing with tsunami sirens on the island of Kauai while vacationing with his family. Stephen Woods is my morning. Ben and Woods co-host of 97.3 The Fan. I talked to him earlier this evening about having to quickly pack up and evacuate from where he was staying in Hanalei Bay.
Well, we were sitting on the beach having one of the best days I can remember. And we got the Amber Alert sound on our phone, the warning. And we looked at it and it said, tsunami warning. You are in danger. And then the lifeguard jumped on the loudspeaker and said, hey, everybody, could you just evacuate the beach in a professional manner, was the way that he put it. And said, nothing to really worry about right now. But if you guys could evacuate, the beach is now closed. And so our house is a couple hundred yards from the beach. We went home. We packed. My brother and his family went back to their hotel, packed, and we just grabbed kind of the bare essentials and we split. And I mean, there was a line to get out like you wouldn't believe. So we just sat in traffic for about an hour and a half. And we're at higher ground right now in Kilauea, just hanging out.
Stay safe, Woods. ABC 10 News will continue to track the tsunami situation in Hawaii and along our coast. For a look at past impacts of tsunami warnings in San Diego, head to our website, 10news.com.